Advancing in the first round of the NCAA Tournament, is it time for the U of A to pull the plug and part ways with Sean Miller? Is it too soon to start asking when college football season starts? And does Governor Ducey's school safety plan do enough to address gun violence? These stories and more next on the 520. Welcome to the 520. I'm Steve Nunez.
I'm Arty Mata the Fourth. Thanks for joining us. And Steve, you're very color coordinated today. What did you say?
Very well, I'm not Johnny Cash, but my soul is troubled right now. Arty Mata the Fourth. I'm in mourning. Arizona Wildcats, how could they lose to 13 seed Buffalo? My bracket is busted. My scarf is at home. I'm putting it in a box.
Take it to an
incinerator.
Burning it.
It's no longer lucky.
Shoot
so
it
guess
in
what?
Space.
Morning, baby.
Alonzo morning.
It's going to be a long couple of weeks through the NCAA tournament. Well, the 520 heard it all weekend long. Fans of the show asking, is it time for the U of A to clean house, part ways with Sean Miller, and start the rebuilding process? Well, consider the following facts. Arizona has lost to 3 double-digit seeds in the last 3 years. Timeline coincides with the rape investigation involving a now former basketball player. Besides the FBI investigation and firing of Miller's longtime assistant, Book Richardson, the Wildcats face possible NCAA sanctions, have only 6 players returning next year, and 0 recruits signed for 2018. Again, zero recruits for next year. How much murkier can Arizona's future get?
First off, I think it's time. It is time. Put a stamp on it. Time of death. Call it what you would like to call it.
Can you repeat that? Because a couple of weeks ago, you defended Sean Miller.
I defended him against the FBI investigation, against the NCAA. But what I would say is, Sean Miller has proven time and time again he cannot put a team together that can completely coexist with each other. So, he can sign a DeAndre Ayton, he could sign a Trier, but too many times has he proven to not handle a team the way a team should be handled. So look at the camera
and say Sean Miller should be fired.
Sean Miller should be fired. His staff should be fired.
I agree with you 100%.
His policy should be out of place. Get rid of him.
It is time to, as we said, clean house, part ways. And now we're seeing a story come out of ESPN. All right, we can discredit the sources or whatever, but Jeff Goodman went to the U of A, graduated from the U of A, has inside scoop with the U of A and the athletic department, and he's reporting, guess what Sean Miller is doing? According to his sources, he is seeking and putting out fillers to take that Pitt job. Remember, he played at Pitt in the 90s.
At a grand old time, his grandma still lives there. He still got, he can still get free drinks over there.
And I've said it before, the loyalty is not with Arizona. And when I got creamed and people were, oh, you're calling on Sean Miller to get fired, I'm loyal to my Wildcats. I'm mourning right now. That is some love, baby. That is some love.
It's time, like I was saying, time and time again. He's very good at recruiting. He can get a lot of Trier, he can get a lot of everything, but he needs to be out of here. And where does the athletic director, Dave Hickey, stand in supporting Sean Miller? The 520 has a strong hunch on this one. Take a listen here.
I appreciate more than anyone can realize Dr. Robbins and the university carefully considering this matter and acting upon facts.
That says it all, because it's not what he said, it's what he didn't say, and he never once mentioned Dave Hickey, his athletic director. What does that tell you from a lawyered up statement?
There's no support, there's no love.
There was some beef behind the scenes, and Dave Hickey was not supporting Sean Miller.
And if you're asking me, I think the love was never there to begin with, Steve.
I think Dave Hickey is being undermined right now because I've heard on the streets that there's a big booster, not at liberty to mention names, but a big booster who supported Sean Miller staying, and Dr. Robbins went with it.
Great.
All right, is this what it's come down to? Arizona, as mentioned, with 0 recruits in 2018, is now hitting the graduate transfer market to fill its roster for next season. Well, here's Ryan Taylor. If he chooses Arizona, would transfer from Evansville. He led the Missouri Valley Conference, averaging 21 points, shooting 42% from 3. That's what it's come down to.
That's what it's come down to.
Trying to fill 7 spots.
Will he even contribute? Are they just going to sign another superstar who's not used to playing as a unit? It's nothing but questions.
Again, he hasn't even chosen Arizona. So what does that tell you about the program when a grad transfer won't just make a decision quickly and say, hey, they need a point guard for next year, I'm going to play there.
A lot of cleaning up to do. A lot of cleaning up to do.
Cleaning up has got to start.
And is your bracket busted? You and the rest of the world are not alone. Take a look here.
Take a look at my bracket first.
We'll take a look at Steve's bracket, then we'll take a look at what the rest has to offer.
Oh, painful. Oh, thanks a lot for putting up that red.
There it is. He's got 2, living by the skin of their teeth.
I still have Michigan and Villanova in, because here's what I got to say to you, bro Chacho. Take a look at your bracket. Woo!
Let's take a look. Let's see what the damage is. Let's see what the damage is.
Man, you're operating in the red. Dude, I do not want to hire you as my accountant.
I blame myself. I blame myself.
You are out. You are done. 0.
I haven't even been trusted with where to eat dinner in the household lately. I gotta be honest.
Who do you got now?
I like your pick with Michigan. They're big, heavy shooting. They're a big, heavy shooting team. They'll pass the ball all around the court. Ball Hawks have been favored this entire March season, so I think Michigan can make a run for it.
I still believe in Michigan, and I still believe in Villanova. Now I'm going to have to go with Duke on the bottom half playing Villanova. I think Villanova is in the finals, period. On the upside, or on the left side of the bracket, I'm going to go with Sister Jean from Loyola, Chicago, baby. Catholic school. Number 11 seed. Loyola is gonna be right there in the final four. I don't know that they're gonna win,
dressed in yellow.
Yeah, but here's this. We talk so much about flipping the cards in Arizona, baby. I will say this. Arizona and my picks still beat your picks. Hey, but I am mad. I am mad as heck
We lost
at
by
Arizona.
3. You guys lost by something else.
Oh, I am so mad. Well, did all the hype surrounding Wildcat basketball drown out the success of Pima Community College's contention for the NCAA Championship? The now 29-4 Aztecs, seeded number 2 in the tournament, beat 15 seed Southern Maryland 108-84 in the first round of the tournament. Sophomore Justin Bissard scored 14 of his 21 points in the second half. What happened to giving love to our very own Pima Community College?
Nothing happened. There was never any love to begin with. I mean, this team is led by a bunch of locals, ironically. And, you know, there's been so much criticism from the Wildcats and from the Devils about not loving the locals. This is definitely a perfect avenue for Pima to start filtering some of that into the local market.
I agree. And would love to see Pima Community College get more pub. But let's also put it on the onus on them. Here's why. Because we're looking for some information, and you have to say, Pima, if you're listening, come on, y'all. Get on social media. Start posting your successes on Twitter, tweeting out some highlights, showing some love.
Telling the players to do so as well.
Exactly. We're not seeing that on social media. So
on their website
they own
even.
part of the fact that the local media is ignoring them.
And you even go on their website, all they have is an updated score. They don't
Couldn't find anything.
Here's how to stream it. Hey, here, check out this guy on Twitter for updates. There's nothing.
And in our defense, in the 5-2, did we not look for information that we could show today's game or highlights?
We dug.
We dug and we couldn't find it, man.
Oh, man. But can anything be learned from new Arizona football coach Kevin Sumlin's first day of spring practice? Day 1 of 15 total practices in the next few weeks. Spring drills at the U of A with Kevin Sumlin and the new U of A staff will continue through the end of March and through the end of April, with the spring game landing on April 14th at Arizona Stadium.
Practice.
Any key takeaways from the few practices that have been had?
Practice. That's my takeaway. Practice. Look, I will say this. You're not going to learn anything from the practice that we saw yesterday, okay? I do like the fact that Arizona has 3 defensive linemen that weigh 300 pounds. Now, can they get in condition to play a full game and give some size for Arizona's defensive line? Yet to be seen. But here's what I took away from everything that we saw in that highlight. I saw a rejuvenated football program, more banners, more access for the media, reporters everywhere, more tweets, more highlights, more everything that we haven't seen in the last
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Especially under Rich Rod. That's what I love, and that's what I took away from it. And I saw more hop in their step.
Great. And what I saw was one of the reporters from the Star caught a video of Khalil Tate with his new quarterbacks coach, and you could immediately tell he was completely more attentive. He was completely more responsive to it. He's always been a my way or the highway type player, but Khalil Tate seems to be responding to this guy. Of course, it's the first day of spring practice. It's a long, hot summer, and there's 11 other teams near us doing the exact same thing, but it was a great day.
April 14th, that spring training game, we're going to see a lot, and we're going to be able to gauge more on the direction of the football program and how well they could possibly play.
Agreed. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited.
All right. Did Arizona Wildcats baseball coach Jay Johnson have beginner's luck? Well, since finishing as runner-up in the 2016 College World Series, Johnson's first year, the Batcats have gone 48-30. Wildcats now find themselves at 10-9 and 0-3 in Pac-12 play so far this season. What's going on?
That's the worst part, is all the problems are internal. All their problems are fixable errors.
Correct.
There's lots of they get down early at the beginning of innings. They get the first two opposing runners on base, and they're playing catch up the rest of the game. It's all mental mistakes. It's all fixable from the Cats.
Well, you look at their pitching. They're ranked second in the Pac-12 with a combined ERA of like 2.29. Offensively, they've scored 97 runs. So this team actually has the potential to do well. The problem is, can they put it all together so that come Pac-12 play, we're able to keep up? Because you look at Pac-12, man, Oregon State #1, Stanford #3, UCLA #7. Think about those home and away series of playing 3 games against these top-notch schools. Arizona's really going to have to step it up and put it all together if we want to make it.
And there's so much more firepower on the offensive side of the ball for the Pac-12. These guys aren't hitting base hits. These guys are hitting them for the fences.
Look,
tough road.
Here's what I think we should all do. Let's just go to Thirsty Thursdays at High Corbett, drink some cheap beer, root for the Wildcats, and have fun. And
have
at the
a
same
good old time.
Make some more money for the Arizona athletic program, because we know they're going to need every dollar to settle some of these lawsuits that are coming. Man, I hate to say it, but
let's go
true.
Support them. Support local business at the least.
All right, let's jump right into Do We Care? As you know, by now we're not just a sports show. We like to sprinkle in a few community issues, break them down, and ask ourselves, do we care? Well, in response to the February 14th school shooting in Florida that left 17 dead, Arizona Governor Doug Ducey unveiled his school safety plan that includes more spending for resource officers and mental health workers in schools, technology fixes to get state convictions into the federal background system faster, and seize some guns from some unstable people.
And
of course we
can. With the liberal agenda, we have to win when we can. With the blue agenda, we have to win when we can. Fight the battles we can win. This is a fantastic compromise in my opinion. I think it's great. I think it's a great step.
I am shocked that Governor Ducey, who's been connected to the Koch brothers and every other right-wing group out there, actually went to the center in the middle of the road and did something fantastic. He took some action, and he deserves so much credit for taking action, because he is going to take a hit on this one. But the only thing he did not do, which he still has to consider, ban bump stocks, which turned rifles into machine guns and killer machines in essence, and block or require background checks at gun shows that come into our communities.
Great, I agree. The Tucson City Council is considering a request from the Tucson Firefighters Association for $3.7 million in additional funding that would be used to hire new firefighters and offer better pay for its more experienced members. TFD is losing firefighters to police, are similar to police in other cities as a fast rate.
It just, again, you just want to pull your hair out and say, what are you guys doing? You know, if the Tucson Fires Union has to go and beg for $3.7 million, there's a problem there. But honestly, the city council should consider this. Why? Because it costs more to keep training people that are leaving than it does just to keep them and give them raises.
Wages. Of course, I agree. And that's the thing is that we put ourselves into a corner, and now it's costing us $3.7 million. We have to pay that. We have to pay that.
Yep. Well, the Supreme Court rejected the state's plea to stop issuing driver's licenses to young immigrants who are protected from deportation. High Court justices did not comment on their decision, which leaves in place an appeals court ruling in favor of dreamers who sought licenses. Arizona has about 20,000 DACA-protected immigrants.
You have to put these guys, you have to account for every single one of these young women. I think this is a great idea, a great step in the right direction that the Supreme Court ruled in favor for the Dreamers. I love it.
A huge blow to the state of Arizona, but shame on them for even trying to challenge this. Look, everyone in this state should be held accountable, and having a driver's license holds them accountable. Because if they're in an accident, I don't want to get screwed, okay? I want to be able to hold the other person accountable if they're at fault for causing that accident, period.
Of course.
All right, well, you've heard the phrase, oh, no, you didn't. Well, here at the 520, we're not afraid to tell it like it is with, oh, yes, we did. Well, here we go again. Another ESPN report citing sources. This time, I believe ESPN's Jeff Goodman, because he truly is a Wildcat insider and U of A graduate. He's always had insider scoop. Goodman is reporting, as discussed earlier in the 520, that U of A basketball coach Sean Miller has put out a filler to let Pitt know he's interested in taking the coaching job there. Well, Miller turned down an offer from his old school 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I didn't want Miller to leave. But with the FBI investigation hovering over him and recruits avoiding Arizona like the plague, Arizona is no longer considered the cream of the crop. So while fans stood steadfastly by Miller's side and chanted "F-U" to ESPN when the sports network published the now famous report on an alleged $100,000 phone conversation caught on FBI wiretap, whether true or not true, and the verdict has yet to be determined, let's consider Miller's character based on one incident that was in fact caught on camera, and not the FBI's camera, calling one of his players, Caleb Kardusky, an "F-U mother effer" during a game. So now we find out Miller is possibly looking to jump ship after the university sacrificed and put its entire reputation on the line for him. His loyalty, as I've said before, is not with Arizona, and it never will be. As much as I'd like to say "F-U," I'll keep it classy and say, don't let the door hit you on your arse. I hope you get the job at Pitt. If not, Arizona needs to fire Miller, clean house, and rebuild. Bear down, baby, 24/7.
Great. Thank you, Steve. And here I go again with something to say about the Arizona Cardinals offseason. Apparently, they've been staying busy. They are one of the main teams proposing an NFL rule change that would limit the amount of times a West Coast team can play the early Sunday game. Apparently, this could really affect the team's future. Forget about paying two backup quarterbacks a combined $48 million for the next 2 years and claiming Tyrann Mathieu is too expensive for the football team. And so is Carlos Dansby, one of the few veterans whose absence will now force them to search for some bright-eyed rookie. And now Chandler Jones will easily be double-teamed by the NFC West running game. And don't forget the 309-pound Xavier Williams, who is now meeting with teams because Arizona refused to match offers. But all the holes in the team won't matter because we'll all play in the afternoon all season long. Relax breakfast. The players can catch CNN's 8 a.m. coverage, and we'll be ready to take on Jimmy Garoppolo, Todd Gurley, Russell Wilson, who those guys are all projected to make strong playoff runs this year. We'll be ready for that one at the least.
Man, that was a mouthful.
I gotta say, what a mouthful was is, your loyalty must stay to the Cats. We were all defending Sean Miller at first, but here we are.
You and others were defending Sean Miller.
I
stood by my convictions.
Go back and watch it. The people will know.
You know what?
I was
we'll
defending.
Call you out and we will show the tape.
I was defending the Wildcats' reputation. The Wildcats' reputation.
I'm glad you saw
the bright lights.
The bright lights coming.
Goodness gracious.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
All right, the bottom line, our goal is to tell it like it is because it's all about giving voice to opinions, even if you don't agree.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at the 520 Tucson. And if you have a topic you want us to cover, let us know.
I'm Steve Nunez.
And I'm Arty IV. Join us next week on the 520.